Good day, viewers. This is Flip TV News. I am Olajide Taufik Olamide. First, the top stories. Now to the news in details. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has said it will deploy 22,282 ad hoc personnel for the March 18 governorship and state assembly election in Bauchi State. The resident electoral commissioner Alhaji Mohammed Naira stated this in an interview with Flip TV on Tuesday in Bauchi. He said the commission had trained the personnel and addressed challenges to facilitate smooth conduct of the exercise. Breaking down the figures, Naira said the personnel comprised 264 returning officers and 542 supervisory polling officers. Others are 5,423 polling officers and 16,269 assistant polling officers drawn from the National Youth Service Corps. He said the commission also deployed 784 POs and APOs for additional bimodal voter accreditation system, adding the measure was imperative to effectively man polling units created out of the congested ones. The commission, he said, took delivery of sensitive election materials which will be distributed on Thursday to the 20 local government areas of the state. On transportation, Naira said the commission has signed a memorandum of understanding with Transport Union to facilitate smooth movement of personnel and materials in the upcoming election. The parties to the agreement are National Union of Road Transport Workers and the National Association of Road Transport Owners. Human rights activist and lawyer Femi Falana has said the February 25 presidential and National Assembly elections destroyed lots of myths and hitherto prevailed in the nation's political space. He said in spite of the challenges related to the polls, many positives were recorded, including the destruction of the myth of political structure. Speaking on the channel's television's program on Monday, Falana said that in the just concluded election, the people showed that they are the structure. There are some positive developments that were recorded. For instance, the myth of these political structures has been destroyed, whereby people have shown that we are the structure and the people are the structure ultimately. Secondly, young people have also shown this time around that we are going to determine the future of our country. Thirdly, you no longer have to be a money bag to contest election in Nigeria. Another development is that whereas the Senate chamber has been converted to a resting home for former governors, this time around, many of the governors lost their seats. They lost in the election and so they won't be able to go back to the National Assembly. The other development is that sitting governors and sitting president could not win their state for their political parties. On Monday, both the presidency and the Central Bank of Nigeria finally bowed to pressure to end the 2-month Naira crisis in the country. The Apex Bank, a few hours after the presidency absolved itself of blame, directed commercial banks to henceforth accept the 200 Naira, 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira old Naira note as legal tender in line with the March 3 ruling of the Supreme Court. This came about 24 hours to the ultimatum issued by some state governors, after which they would find contempt charges against the CBN and the Attorney General of the Federation. The Apex Bank decision was contained in a statement issued on Monday night by the bank's acting director of corporate communications, Dr. Isa Abdulmumin. The statement added that the old Naira notes are to remain legal tender till December 31st, 2023. The CBN's decision is barely hours after President Muhammadu Buhari clarified that the Central Bank of Nigeria has no excuse to disobey the Supreme Court ruling on the Naira redesign. Earlier, the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, announced via his social media handles that CBN has directed commercial banks to dispense and accept the old Naira note. Governor Soludo is not alone. Lagos and other governors have moved to enforce the validity of the old Naira note. On his verified Twitter handle, Babajide Sanwo-Olu stated that commercial banks had been directed to collect the old Naira note and announce punishment for defaulters. In a reaction to CBN's decision directing commercial banks to dispense and accept the old Naira note, the director of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Dr. Muda Yusuf, disclosed that the development would restore Nigeria's broken economy. An accounting and financial development done at Leeds City University, Ibadan, Professor Godwin Oyedokun, on Monday night said commercial banks should pay their customers interest for the period they could not utilize their money. Earlier, Dr. Ayo Teriba, the CEO of Economic Associate, said on Monday that it is now apparent that President Muhammadu Buhari is not standing in the way of the Supreme Court verdict on the Naira redesign. With about 2 months to the end of the Buhari's administration, Nigerians aspire for a future where the nation's economic woes will be a thing of the past. The Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, of imputing wrong data while transferring the result of the 2023 presidential election to their server. The PDP spokesperson, Dino Melaye, said the party will expose any wrong or illegal activity of INEC concerning the transfer of data from the bimodal voter accreditation system to the Commission's back-end server. In a tweet made at 2:22 p.m. on Monday, March 13th, Melaye said the PDP and the leadership of the opposition party and its members will shock the INEC and its ICT department. On the foreign scene, one of the deadliest cyclones ever recorded in the southern hemisphere, Tropical Cyclone Freddy, has hit the southern African countries of Malawi and Mozambique on Monday. According to the East African News, the Cyclone Freddy, which attacked the region for the second time, killed 99 people in Malawi and 10 in Mozambique. Malawian Department of Disaster Management Affairs also disclosed that 16 people were reported missing following the outbreak of the natural hazard. In total, 99 deaths have been recorded, with 16 people reportedly missing and 39 camps set, Malawi's Department of Disaster Management Affairs, Dodoma, said late Monday. According to Dodoma's Commissioner for Disaster, Charles Kalemba, the report further indicated that 300 households had been affected, out of which 46 households were displaced and sought refuge at Manja Camp and Naucha Primary School. Freddy comes with torrential rains associated with gusty winds in most parts of southern Malawi district. The wind intensity is expected to increase, reaching 95 km/h in some areas. As a precautionary measure, Malawi's Ministry of Education temporarily suspended physical learning in the affected district on Monday and Tuesday. Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera also said that he noted with grave concern the devastation that Cyclone Freddy was currently bringing to most districts in the country's southern region and declared a state of disaster in the region. On the sporting scene, Manchester City signed Norwegian forward Haaland last summer and has since scored 28 goals in 26 appearances for Pep Guardiola's men. Numerous European teams covered the Nigerian Super Eagles forward Victor Osimhen. These now include Manchester City. The Super Eagles forward remarkably performed for Napoli so far has caught the attention of certain European clubs. Despite the rumors tying him to Manchester United, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City is apparently interested in the Nigerian-born striker. The 24-year-old is upping his worth in the transfer market after scoring 19 goals in 21 domestic league games and sitting 5 goals ahead of Lautaro Martinez, who has 14 in the Serie A goal-scoring standings. Meanwhile, despite having Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland on their roster, the Etihad team has reportedly made inquiries about Osimhen, according to recent claims by transfer guru Florian Plettenberg. We've come to the end of the news. Do well to like, share and subscribe to Flip TV for more updates. I'm Olajide Taufik Olamide. Bye for now.